بلا اللي يرولي جريت الطوموبيل
لا ورث فين والو ورث الطيف
والو ورث فين
لا ورث الطيف انا مسكين اول وانا كثير انا قرت مسال النقبه اي اللي ودت فهم اشكون عين
My man.
Is it working well on your side?
Yeah, it looks good so far.
Okay, good. So your hair looks about as good as mine.
Mm-hmm. Got them luscious locks.
I know.
Your hair's getting kind of long, though, dude. When's the last time you got a haircut?
I know. Just before the trip.
And I don't think you've shaved your beard since before the trip. What's going on here?
I've shaved a couple times. But, yeah, I can't grow as nice of a beard as you.
You look like Kevin Bacon doing a documentary about hunting in the wilderness.
I was, yesterday in the office, I had one of the ladies ask me if I was Kevin Bacon. So, oh well.
Long lost twin brother, man.
I told her that everyone here always harasses me about being the love child of Kevin Bacon and Tom Brady.
So true. So true. Oh, man. What do you guys got going on?
It's been busy since we got back. You know, just getting back in the swing of things. It went from being 50-some degrees here to 30.
Yeah.
Just in that week we were gone.
Yeah.
And so I missed every one of the leaves. They were down. I had to get up on the roof in the 30-degree wet rain to try to blow all the leaves off the roof. And trying to just catch up on stuff.
Jeez. So, yeah, and it's same here. Things were like somewhat under control when I left, and coming back, I feel like it's just been constantly busy. It's cold here too, man.
It just stinks. It went from, before the time changed, it not getting dark until it felt like 6, and now it's dark by 5.
Yeah.
Get home from work and it's dark out.
Go to work in the dark, come home in the dark.
Yep.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think next time we're gonna have to plan a different time of year to do a trip like that. I feel like it's so busy this time of year. I don't know.
I think it's just busy every time.
Yeah.
Kids will get crazier, but I still think Turkey will be a good next one.
Ooh, yes. In what, 2021, 2022?
2020, probably 2021.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Let's tentatively shoot for that, because then my third child will be about 1.5 years by that point. Aubrey will be getting ready to be sick, so she can help out around the house. She can take the trip out.
Yeah.
I think that sounds good. The ladies can handle it.
I like it. Yeah, they're great. We married strong, independent women.
We did. They're good.
So they can do strong, independent things. What are you drinking?
Oh, I brewed a triple bock.
Oh, man. You told me about this. I saw the beginnings of this.
Yes.
It's come to fruition?
So I was hoping for 10.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I'm losing you a little bit. How's your Wi-Fi signal? I'm losing you a little bit.
My wife, the Wi-Fi signal in the house is great, but I'm in the basement at the moment.
Okay.
So if I need to move, I can move.
I'm gonna switch to a different one real quick. Hold on. Okay, I was on our guest network instead of our main network. So that should be better on my side. Yeah, you're all frozen, dude. I can't. Can you hear me?
Still bad?
Yeah, I think it's, yeah.
Okay. Well, let me move closer.
All right. Well, since you're drinking, I'm gonna be drinking too.
Yeah. I always enjoy a good brew.
Oh yeah. I'm doing Bullet Kentucky Bourbon Straight Whiskey, or Kentucky Straight Kentucky.
It's the Bullet, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Kentucky Straight Bourbon.
I think that's the bourbon of choice of. You lose me?
You sound good now.
Okay.
You think Bullet's the bourbon of choice from who?
For Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, me and old Vesty.
Yeah. Him and all his muscles, even in his old age.
It's weird. It's got like a twist off cork.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful sound.
I hope we got that sound on tape here. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Oh, I can't wait for you to come back up. I got some new stuff too to try out bourbon wise.
Oh, really? All right.
So I got a new Jefferson's, and then Crown. They have a specialty thing. I might have had it when you were here last. I just don't know if I opened it up.
Okay.
But they did something with aging it in some sort of coffee type thing, and they had a special opening of it in Troy. Mm-hmm. So they had pictures and stuff to put on their website, and then I told them, hey, I got this nice Jeep out front. So they went outside, and I'm holding their number one bottle of it with a picture of me in the Jeep.
Mm. Oh, legit.
Even though it's Canadian whiskey, it's still very American in that picture.
You should send that to Jeep's Instagram. They'll probably repost it.
I need to see if I can find it again.
There's an Instagram account called Earth Fever that does all travel photos. So I submitted some of our best Morocco photos to them. See if they're supposed to let me know if they're going to post them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I still need to get a hold of all your pictures and then give you mine.
Yeah, they should be. Those links you should just be able to download everything from those links.
Yeah, you sent me 2 links, but the one only had 7 or 8 photos, and the other one had 200.
So the way it was is all the photos were separated by day on my phone. So I just sent the day. So I sent like Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you should have gotten 5 emails. You didn't get? You only got 2?
I got 2.
Well, when I get up there, I'll have to see which ones those were, and I can get you the rest. There was one day I think I took 308 photos. So
I think it's 300 total.
Yeah,
like 220 total.
Yeah. But I was just whipping out my camera, like my phone. Like you had to pull out the whole like setup and everything. So, it was good. So I haven't. When we first were in Morocco, I was kind of thinking of like a theme or questions of like how we could talk through this.
Yeah.
But I've kind of forgotten about all that, and I don't really have a guided pathway for us to go through. I guess we could. Let's talk about this. What was your motivation? Because I am not as experienced a world traveler as you are. You've been all over the place, and these were Morocco and Turkey were a couple places that you wanted to go. What was your motivation behind wanting to go to those places?
I like Africa. Africa is quite a bit of just an adventurous type place. Mm-hmm. I've not ever been to North Africa. So I've been through the Central and Eastern. So getting up North Africa, around the Sahara Desert, that's kind of the starting point of it all. And then isolating it down to what's more safe, Algeria, Mali, things of that nature, which I really would rather go to. It's just not safe for an American.
Yeah.
And so it's always been on my list of places I wanted to go. And then after we got the okay from our wives that we can go anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
With some caveats, like we weren't allowed to go anywhere that my wife would want to go.
Right, correct.
And so this being a place that I had on my list that I knew she wouldn't want to go to, partially for just fear of what could happen, and then just it's just not on her top. It's not on her top anything.
Right.
And so it just kind of, like I said, those nice crosshairs just went together right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And now having been there, like I feel like it should be on the top for everyone's list.
Yeah.
Like I just fell in love with that country.
That's what I kept telling Kelsey when I got back. I said, I really did not think it would be so open and friendly to outsiders, especially Americans, and just have so much to do and see. And just, the infrastructure was nice. The people were nice. They tried to peddle money off you every moment they could, but overall it's nice.
Yeah.
And I felt safe and secure.
Mm-hmm.
Minus the thought we were to fall off the side of a cliff while we're driving.
Oh man, gosh, our driver, what an insane guy.
Have you been back from him yet?
Oh yeah. I'm building a website for his company. So I'm gonna get most of my trip paid for. Sorry, bud.
If you make too much, you can shift a little over my way.
Okay, all right. That's fair. No, I try. The exchange rate's so bad. I didn't charge them very much. So like doing it for like less than 20% of what I'd normally do a website for.
Philanthropy.
Yes. So maybe he'll give us a free tour if we ever go again. So kind of the overview of the trip was we flew into Casablanca, and then we went inland a little bit to see a more authentic, I would call it a more authentic Moroccan city, less westernized city. Then we went into the mountain region, and then we went into the desert region, and then we came back, which is pretty incredible. It's the terrain of Morocco is the Atlantic coast and then some of the Mediterranean Sea. So you have all these coastal villages, you have all these beautiful sea cliffs and what you'd think of like beaches. And then just a little ways inland, you get to these incredibly high mountain peaks, which are the second highest mountain peaks in Africa.
Yep.
Only second to Kilimanjaro, yes. Which you've hiked before, right?
Yeah.
Did you summit Kilimanjaro?
Yeah, back in 2005.
What's the elevation at Kilimanjaro?
It's 19,340 feet.
Jeez. And then Atlas Summit is right around 14,000 feet.
Yeah.
A little over 14,000. And then you go straight down from there into just the desert wasteland of what you would think Sahara Africa would look like. Miles and miles of flat desert and sand dunes and all that sort of thing. So the first place we stopped was Marrakech. Tell me a little bit of what you thought about Marrakech.
There's a lot of international people there. They have the old town, which was, I think, influenced by the French. And so you just have all the old buildings real close together. I love the marketplace we went to. And that was, this is lively. All the expats all around, and you had all the locals sitting there trying to sell you everything they could.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just loved walking around it. Just the videos we took and just watching so much music and snakes and birds and every little knick-knack and trinket you could think of.
It was crazy. They would have these cobras and vipers and all these crazy snakes just slithering around in the street. They were controlled. They were the part of the show that they were doing, but they were just letting them slither up to people, and then they would grab them by the tail and pull them back. And then they'd bring a couple non-poisonous snakes and put them around your neck and want money from you for putting the snake around your neck and stuff.
Oh, that's what we got kind of almost, I can't say swindled, but you had that kid he had a peacock and a few birds. And he walked up to us, and we were thinking he's just nice, going to ask for a couple coins afterwards, but threw him up on top of you first.
Yeah.
you had 5 or 6 pigeons sitting on you with a peacock in your arm.
Yeah.
And then he throws them up on top of me. And, we're thinking great photo opportunity. And then so we give them back to the kid. And next thing you know, he's like, okay, ask for money, which I assumed was going to happen. So we each gave him, what was it? A few euro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, we ended
20
up
or 30 dirham. Yeah.
Yeah. And the kid's like, no, not enough. You need more. It's
He's like, this is nothing. This is nothing. Give me more of that.
He's wanting 15, 20 euro worth.
Oh, gosh.
So,
Those stupid bird pictures
Yep.
that we took on our own phones.
Yeah. And so by the time we got to the snake guys, like, we just didn't even want to look at the snakes because they were thinking they're going to, if we don't pay them enough, they're going to send one of their cobras over after us.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of unfortunate because I would love to have, like, handled those snakes.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to pay $1 million to touch the snakes, dude.
Yeah.
And you knew that's what they were after. Same thing with the monkeys and everything else. But Marrakech was cool. It's a really, like, ornate city. Everything is made out of granite or marble, some sort of tile. Just beautiful. Their main exports are marble, granite, and silver, right? And so you just see that stuff everywhere. These old, beautiful buildings. We walked into this massive marketplace. Literally thousands of people in that one marketplace spot. Just a massive glob of humanity. Everybody selling their wares and panhandling and selling crafts and all kinds of things. It was incredible.
I mean, there are probably, 40, 50 just winding streets coming off of that big marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And those little streets split off into 15, 20 more.
Yeah, you'd get lost in these mazes of markets. So you would go into this tunnel. Well, it wasn't really a tunnel. It was like an alleyway that had so much stuff for sale that it was covering over the top. Like, you couldn't see up to the top of the building. So you get in these little mazes, and, like, you're taking a left, you're taking a right, and it's just, all these little shops and markets, and you, like, can't find your way out. It's amazing. And that's people are there every day selling that stuff.
Yep.
That's what they do for a living. And then you're walking down this tiny alleyway, and a car and a motorcycle zip right by you, and no concern for anybody. You just get out of the way or get hit.
They honk one time. That means you better get out of the way.
You better move or you're getting hit.
Yep.
Some great video of that. So we flew into Casablanca just enough time to get dinner, get in bed, and that next morning we got up and went to Marrakech and spent all day there. The next morning we got up, and that's when we went into the Atlas Mountains with our guide. Which is incredible. So we got a guide for 3 days. This is a guy that Eric found, a private guide with a private car for 3 days, all accommodations, including where we were staying, breakfast and dinner, and the excursions that we were going on included for both of us. Total was 480 euros, right?
Yeah.
Total. So like $240 a piece for all of our food, lodging, and a private guide who spoke 7 languages fluently. Hamed Olali is our guy's name. Hamed.
Hamed.
7 languages fluent. So everybody in Morocco speaks 2 languages mainly, Arabic and French, because it used to be a French colony. Then you have the native language, which is the Berber language. So he spoke all 3 of those. Then he spoke fluent German, fluent Spanish, fluent Italian, and English.
English, yeah.
7 languages. Incredible guy. Grew up.
He's been for like 20 years, he said. Just leading groups of people around.
Yeah. And he actually started, when he was growing up, he was a nomad. So he lived in the desert with his family, living in tents and riding around on camels. He said they would follow the rain, so wherever the rain was going, that's where they would migrate to, so they could get the fresh fruits and vegetables, the pomegranates and dates and olives to sell in the marketplace. And they just lived as nomads for years when he was growing up. Really interesting guy. And his website is yourmoroccanholiday.com. Soon to be relaunched by Tandem Digital. in Greenville, South Carolina.
Good job. Good job.
He actually called me tonight. I didn't get a chance to pick up, but we've been talking back and forth on WhatsApp. So about that driving experience. So we get in this car, and like he's coming out of Marrakech, like he's honking at everybody, making everybody get out of the way, which is normal. And then we get into the mountains, and literally turns into one of the most terrifying vehicle experiences of my life.
The road's just large enough for one car to go each direction, with maybe 3 inches on each side.
Maybe 3 inches.
Yeah. And on that one side, it's just straight down. I mean, it's just straight down the mountainside. These
thousands of feet.
Yeah, these are just roads are cut into the edge of the mountain. Some places had a guard, some places did not have the guardrail. And I mean, we were on these mountain pass areas for 2 hours at a time?
Yeah.
And the whole time, not a single car would pass us because we're the fastest thing out there.
Right.
And we're whipping around these hairpin turns on the edge of this. I mean, just looking over the edge, straight down.
80 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. While he's passing.
Like 60 miles an hour? Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way. I'm thinking of my wife. I'm like, there's no way she would do that. We'd have to tell him to just slow down.
Dude, nothing scares me. Like, like that kind of stuff, it doesn't bother me. Heights don't bother me. Nothing.
Yep.
I was clenching so bad on that. Because
afterwards.
Oh, man, he would pass 6 or 7 cars at a time on a curve where you couldn't see what was coming the other way. And if something was coming the other way, like that's it. It's 1,000-foot fall to the river.
Yeah, and I just thinking even they were doing so much road work on there where they actually had a huge backhoe up on top of the mountain, and it just at times they'd shut down the road, and the backhoe's knocking down parts of this mountain down onto the road, and then they'd take a bulldozer and scrape it right off into the over top of the cliff.
Yeah, middle of the day. Yeah.
And then our driver, being the driver he is, not waiting in line, so he'll be towards the back. And next thing you know, he just takes off, passing everyone waiting for the road to open up. And the one time, I mean, he passed 80 cars, go straight up to the front. Right as they're getting ready to open it back up, the construction worker goes over and is getting ready to, I think, yell at him. He points to me in the front seat, and the construction worker just kind of nods his head and lets us go. So I think he's just like, hey, I got Americans, let us go.
Yeah. It was like this total like American diplomat move. It was like we passed like 80 cars waiting to get out of this construction. He goes on the opposite lane of traffic, passes them all, gets up there. The construction guy's like, no. And he just points at Eric. He's like, look what I got. Look what I got. And the guy just like lets us through, and we went past everybody on the mountain. It's pretty funny. Nice power move.
It was.
I've never felt white privilege so vividly in all my life.
Yeah. Oh.
But that was cool. So we stayed in this little hotel in like this valley or this canyon, really, in the Atlas Mountains. Probably like 10,000 feet, maybe.
I think it's what we said.
And there's
it's gorge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's what they filmed that Chrysler commercial.
Yeah.
So anyone wants to get like a little piece of it, just type in Chrysler Dades Gorge. It'll bring up, they did a commercial there, I think 2016.
Yeah.
Where they just tried to max out this car going around these turns. And it's just a beautiful spot.
It's incredible. I took so many pictures there, and I think it was Cadillac, actually.
Was it Cadillac? Okay,
yeah, it was the Cadillac MTS or something like that. But I'll put a link to that video in the show notes. It's pretty cool. That's right where our hotel was, and went up on that mountain. And then what was next?
The next day was we got up and then we traveled towards the desert.
Yeah. To the there were salt mines, so we drive through the desert. It looked like there was snow all through the desert, but it was just literally inches of salt that had built up in the desert, just white as could be. Salt mines, granite mines, and silver mines. And we stopped at this little this little construction company that mines granite. And every time they mine a layer of granite, they find all these perfectly preserved fossils inside the granite. What are they called?
The trilobites.
Trilobites.
And then the little knottle snails.
Snails, and there was one other thing. There was like it was that long...
like octopus things.
Yeah, it was like a squid or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. So we picked up a few of the fossils there for the girls. And then into our romantic getaway in the desert.
That was the nicest tent I've ever stayed in.
So when Eric was pitching this part of the trip to me, he said, we're going to go out into the desert, we're going to rough it, and stay out, I guess, under the stars or whatever. We get there, and it's like this group of tents. We walk in, it's like the most beautiful glamping experience. Look up glamping, Glamping, glamping. It was like the most romantic, like, desert getaway ever. They had candles in our room and little candies and stuff on the pillows, and these beautiful satin sheets and all these rugs.
Well, it's like being on a cruise ship. They made little animals out of the towels and put them on your bed.
That's right. We had little swans on the bed.
We had hot water, a heater in the thing. A shower. It was crazy.
I was like, I finally found out your true intentions, my friend.
Take you out to the desert and wine and dine you.
Oh, man. That was great. Not that part. The desert was great. The camels were cool. I mean, had you ever been on camels before?
No, never. I was kind of, I can't say disappointed. I've never had an issue with an animal not liking me.
Yeah.
And the camels are just grunty, smelly, just boogers. I didn't know if this camel wanted to bite my face off or give me a kiss. And the camel guide basically yelled at me when I tried to go over and pet it. And I said, well, it must mean it wants to bite my face off. So I didn't trust it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing kept trying to goose you in the butt.
My camel was perfect.
Yeah.
He's happy guy.
Except for when it was trying to get up, it couldn't get off the ground.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That thing was yelling, screaming.
No video proof whatsoever.
I'll bet.
So they took us way out in the desert, way out in the dunes. So as far as you could see, north, west, south, east, it's just sand dune after sand dune after sand dune. And we're out there on these camels. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then the camel guide tried to sell us all his wares while we were out there. Got us lost in the desert and then tried to sell us stuff to get back.
I love the sun setting out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got the whole iconic photos that all tourists are supposed to get, holding the sun as it's setting over the top of the mountainside.
Yeah.
And stuff, but that's definitely where I also learned that camel poop looks very much like rocks.
So, like a lot of kids, Eric's kids collect rocks. Mine do too. So we were picking up different, unique rocks from different parts of the country, like the mountain rocks and the desert rocks and the river rocks and the ocean rocks, to bring back to the kids. And we were out in the desert, and Eric's like, I'm going to get some desert rocks. Look at all these desert rocks.
There's like 4 or 5 in this spot. Like the first time I'd seen them. And I pick it up and I'm like, it's abnormally light.
Light, yeah.
And at that point I'm like, oh no, this is crap.
Literal crap.
Yep, literal crap.
Desert rocks, a.k.a. camel poop.
Yep.
It was good. And the food. So the local fare is called, or the way they cook is called tagine, process of cooking. And it's like this ceramic plate with a lid on it that they cook over an open flame, and they just throw whatever they want in it. Chicken, beef, goat meat, rice, couscous, vegetables, whatever you can think of, throw it in there, and they cook it over the open flame, and then they hand it to you, or they put it on the table, and you just eat straight out of that ceramic pot that they cooked it in. And they don't give you spoons or forks or anything. They just give you bread, and you eat it with little pieces of bread out of the bowl. And everywhere we went, like we ate tagine every day, and just the food and the amount of food was incredible. And
I just remember being on the airplane. You're asking some of the locals, what should we eat when we get there? And they're like, the tagine. And we're both talking. We're like, man, I hope we find this tagine somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, that first night we got into our little hostel there in Casablanca, and we're like, okay, we need to eat. We've not had dinner. It's getting late. And, we're going out in these little alleyways trying to find somewhere to eat. And you found this one place. You're like, let's just go in here. We sit down. And the moment we sit down, this kid just brings over two plates of this stuff with a couple pieces of bread.
Like instantly as we sat down, food was there.
Yeah, it's just no time. I mean, things boiling right there in front of us. We're like, we have no idea what in the world this stuff is. It's just some meat with cheese and stuff on top of it. And honestly, it was one of the best things I've ever had.
Oh, it was so good. We were coming off like 30 hours of travel and dead tired, didn't know where we were. First meal we'd had in the country. And it was like it was perfect. It was so good. This little hole in the wall in this back alley in Casablanca was perfect.
Yeah. Needless to say, they have that. That's I think their national dish. It's everywhere.
Yeah. And we were checking out, and I was like, "How much?" And he's like 70 dirham for both of you. And I was like, "Oh, that's what? We just got swindled. That's a ton of money." And then I realized it was $7 for two of us for our dinner. It was like $3.50 a piece, and that included our Coca-Cola that we got, which was probably the most expensive thing we had. So really cheap. I mean, you could do this whole trip for, just so cheap. It was incredible. Once you get in country, it was amazing.
And as long as you don't buy rugs and things of that nature, you can stay in. It's not that bad. I had to tell Kelsey about that.
Did you tell her? I didn't let the cat out of the bag with my Instagram post, did I?
No. The price, though, on it, I told her may not have been the actual price I paid, but that's another point we don't need to get into.
Hey, the price or the negotiated price, they're both accurate.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's crazy. So they were going through the desert at some point. I don't remember when this was. Was this on the way into the desert or on the way out?
No, the way back.
The way back from the desert?
Yeah.
They take us to this little village out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's all just brick and clay huts, basically. And so we go to this one, like, nondescript clay building. And this guy comes out in his full desert garb and invites us in to see the rugs. And as soon as you walk inside, like, it opens up into like this rug palace. It was like, I mean, just all this
room.
Just
amazing how much.
Just these massive rooms draped with all these handmade rugs and like all this professional lighting, like on the rugs and stuff. Just absolutely beautiful. And what it is it's a co-op with the government. It's kind of like their version of welfare. So some of those cities are so old and poor and traditional that if a woman is widowed or divorced, she doesn't really have any means of income. Like she can't. They don't know. They aren't taught to drive. They're very traditional in their religion and that kind of stuff. They can't just go into the marketplace and get a job. So whatever they can make at home or whatever they can scavenger up is how they make their living after that happens. There's no system to take care of them. So what they do is they hand weave these amazing, beautiful, complex rugs, all different sizes, and take them to these places to be sold. And per the government, they're not taxed. There's no taxes on that. And whoever is selling the rug can only take a 10% commission. 90% of the money has to go back to the women. So it's actually kind of a cool system It's kind of like it's their version of the government's version of welfare is not taxing and then setting a limit on how much people can take from the women, right? So they get 90% of all the funds. So we're sitting there and he's giving this. So when we walk in, he's like, I just want you to know, we just want to show you the beautiful rugs. There's not going to be any sales pitch. We're not pushy.
Low pressure.
Yeah. He's in his full accent, right? Low pressure. No salesy man here. Low pressure. No pressure. And we're like, oh, cool. We're gonna see these rugs. So they take us through this massive hall and all these mazes of rugs, and we get at the end, and he just keeps talking about these rugs, and we're like, all right, we've heard this a million times. Oh, and they sit us down and they make tea for us, which that was everywhere too. Everywhere we went, you have tea. And it's delicious. It's like green tea with mint and honey and sugar. Oh, so good.
Oh yeah, and then they're just bringing out these rugs and this, the representation of each of these different types of tribes and stuff throughout the country.
Yeah.
So each rug style was so unique. How much gold they had into it, or how much indigo, or just the different color patterns and things. So you could tell based on what the rug looked like, kind of what village it came from and what tribe.
Yeah, what tribe they were. Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, man. So the guy starts bringing out all these rugs. And I'd already said to myself, there's no way I'm not going to even ask the price, because when you ask the price, it opens it up. You got negotiation at that stage. And so I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get one of these overpriced. I don't even want to ask. And so I basically just concluded in my head, I'm done. Shake his hand, say thank you for the nice tour, and I'm okay. Thomas, on the other hand,
right at the end, the very end,
we were just ready to be done, and he's like, "Which rug did you like?" I said, "Man, that one over there would be most our style," but I'm like, "There's no way I'm even going to ask about it." So what's Thomas do? Ask the guy. He's like, "My friend here would like to see this rug. How much?"
I said, what would the price be? I was so curious because he would not tell us a price.
No. And so, but at that time, the guy knows he has us. He has at least one of us. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. I get Thomas the biggest side eye I could.
I got serious stank eye because we're both trying to get out of there. But like, I was like, I don't even know what these cost. Like I would, I have no clue. I'd have no frame of reference whatsoever. No. And like once I asked that question, man, he was like, all right, here comes the sales pitch.
Yeah. And so Thomas asked about the one rug. Next thing you know, they bring out 5 or 6 of this exact type of rug from the same village. And he's looking at me. He's like, give me a price. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I do not want this. And he just kept asking over and over, what could you spend? I'm trying to say, hey, I got a third baby on the way. Money's not, tight and all this stuff. And the guy, what was his saying?
And at this point, must to be noted, I start helping you out. I'm like, look, he's got kids coming. He can't do it. You're not being forthright with us on this price. Can't make it happen. It's time for us to go. Like, I'm on your side now. Like, I'm helping out.
At this stage. And the guy's all like, money comes and money goes.
That's right.
So money comes and money goes. But these rugs are forever. And they help out the ladies. And it was like, oh my God.
Laying it on thick. These women, sometimes go into sex trafficking if they don't have their money.
Yeah.
And like, money comes and money goes.
And, I'm like, we're at this point in our trip where like, okay, how much money do we have? How much do we need? And the guy finally was like, we could take credit card. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Because I'm like, you don't have no cash. Can't say no to a credit card. It's so I finally just broke down and said, okay, let's go with this one. I negotiated it. Oh, what was it?
No. So, all right. So here's my turn to tell the story. So he's like, for you, he's like 8,900 dirham. 8,900 dirham, which is 10 to 1, so that's $890. And we're like, oh my gosh. And so I pipe up, I'm like, he can't do it. We can't get this rug. It's too much. Not gonna happen. And he's like, money come, money go. The Berber women. And just will not let us go. And Eric's like, I got a third baby on the way. We've got a lot of expenses coming up. can't do the rug. He's like, you give me a price. You give me a price. He's like, what? Okay, let's say I come down 7,000 dirham. And Eric's like, no, can't do it. And I'm right there with you. I'm like, you can't do it, dude. We're not buying the rug. You can't do it. And he's like, you give me a price. You name your price. And Eric was like, $300. And so which is a fantastic negotiation from almost $900 down to $300. It's incredible. And the guy's like, you know what, Hamid? He's having baby. He's got expenses on the way. We do it for you. We do 300. Shake my hand. And so like Eric like reluctantly shakes this guy's hand, just totally destroyed. This is like a 30-minute process we went through on this last conversation. And so I'm like, oh, good. We're out of here. I feel bad, but he got a great deal. You know, I tried to help him get out of it. I helped every way I could.
After you put me into it.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm trying to, make up for my sins, you know.
It's like throwing a guy into a hole and saying, here's a shovel.
And a rope and my hand, okay? And a second shovel for me. And so he's and I was like, good, we're out of here, we're done. Eric's going to swipe his credit card, we're gone. And he's like, Thomas, follow me. I was like, not happening, not doing this. I was like, I can't do $300 on a rug, not happening. He's like, I show you the $100 rug. And he just brings out 10 more rugs instantly, like out of nowhere. Here's all these rugs. Eric's off paying for his. I'm getting the whole spiel. And he's like, 150. I'm like, nope, can't do it. He's like, 100. I said, not doing it. Can't buy a rug, not doing it. He shows me 10 more. He's like, what color do you like? I was like, I like the color blue. He's like, all right, here's some blue rugs, $100. Nope, not doing it. I was stone facing this guy, not doing it. Out of nowhere, Eric walks into the room after buying his stupid rug and was like, he likes this one. Thomas wants this one. He's like, good deal, $100.
I come back from paying for this thing thinking Thomas, he's probably out the door. He's in this side room, and the guy's showing him all these little baby rugs. And I look at Thomas trying to be all hard. And I'm like, Thomas, you should like that rug right there. It'll match.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, in front of that one door. You're like, what door? I said, that one door.
Eric's like making up stuff. This is going to go great with this in your house.
Oh, and so it was so funny. Thomas all of a sudden, his hard wall just starts to crumble. And he knows he's just done because this guy's laid it even thicker. Once again, giving him the whole money comes and money goes spiel.
The Berber women.
I did not feel bad.
So, son of a gun, got me back.
Yep.
So we get our beautiful rugs. They wrap them up. They're so well made and they're absolutely gorgeous. It probably took like 6 women multiple weeks to make these rugs.
Yeah.
Going to look great in the house. Wives are going to love them. They wrap them up so tightly that you can bring them on the airplane in a carry-on. They make them so where they can fold up so small. We have our rugs. We hold on to them for 3 more days, 2 more days.
No, it wasn't even that long.
Oh, it was like a day and a half, wasn't it?
Not even that long. It was that next morning.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
It was the next morning. And that's why we forgot them. Because we'd not been hauling these things around long.
That's right.
Because, we get back.
Because we get to Marrakech that night and we're hopping on the train to go to Casablanca the next morning.
Yeah.
Going back to where we came in from. That's right. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, because we have to get up real early that next morning to hit the train. It's raining, or not real bad. It's just a light rain. Yeah. So we're hoofing it to the train station. I mean, and it's still pitch dark outside. And the whole time I'm thinking, holy crap, this rug, it's kind of heavy on my arm. So I'm sitting there holding up one arm, switching from back and forth. We get on the train, and in our car, everyone's kind of got their luggage just thrown around. And so we had to put our bags over on one side, but we put and this is where our mistake was, we put our rugs on the other side. And so by the time we get back to Marrakech, we just are like, okay, we got to hurry and get up. We got to get off. They don't stop for long. So we grab our bags, which is what we've had our whole trip and get off of it.
Yeah, it was like a 3-hour train ride up there. Yeah.
And so then we're on the next train to go from there to where our hostel was. And I'm sitting in the seat, and I'm thinking, man, I'm glad we didn't just walk, because you can walk from that train station to where our hostel was. It was within walking distance, but a good 45-minute walk. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that would have been a horrible walk. My arm would have been hurting, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, my arm would have been hurting. Why? And then it just hit me, my rug. And I knew I left it on that previous train.
So Eric, I'm still oblivious to this. I don't realize that we have both left our rugs from this incredibly emotional sales transaction on the train. And I'm sitting there off in La La Land, and Eric looks over at me and he goes, Thomas? I was like, what's up, man? He's like, he had this, I thought like something terrible had happened all of a sudden. And he's like, we left our rugs on the last train. They're gone. And I was like, and just instantly, just like this sick, frustrated, angry feeling.
Yeah.
So all of that squabbling with the sales guy
For the Berber women,
we did not return with our rugs, our well negotiated rugs.
That was going to be a Christmas present for my wife.
Yeah. Megan would have loved hers too. It would have been perfect. I was looking at the rug that we got from wherever, IKEA or wherever, in our living room, and it looks really similar to one of those rugs. And I was like, wow, we really could have like replaced this with something authentic. Yeah. So I would have felt so much worse if I had gotten you into that sales situation and you were the only one that got a rug and then still forgot it. So the fact that I lost a rug too made me feel a little bit better.
You got to help donate some money to the Berber women.
Yeah, they got the money. Hey, if it helps them, which I believe it does, that's what matters. And hopefully somebody in Fez, the rugs final train stop was in Fez. So hopefully somebody in Fez is getting to enjoy those rugs.
Yeah. And I had my phone number on the outside of it with my name and stuff. I kept hoping someone would give me a call back.
Yeah, which was great because like after we lost him, I was like, oh yeah, Eric's got his phone number on there. They could call. I'm an idiot. I was like, I don't trust these people with my phone number. So I gave them a fake phone number to put on my rug. So even if somebody had found it and tried to call me, like it went to somebody else. So I have no chance of getting mine back. So now what are you getting Kelsey for Christmas?
I don't know. I'm actually looking. I'll probably lose it somewhere.
You get a rug from Hamrick's?
Yeah. No, I'm actually looking for like one of those lanterns.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Legit. All right.
So,
one that doesn't produce toxic fumes in the middle of
and it's toxic fumes that are bad for cancer and.
Jeez.
Oh.
That was good. All in all, amazing trip. So if you ever want to do an overseas trip, I highly recommend Morocco. And then secondly, Morocco is extremely affordable. So you can do the trip very, very cheap, which is what we did. And it was great.
Yep.
What's your, probably the rugs. That's your worst memory. What's your best memory from Morocco?
I still enjoyed, like I said, being out in the desert.
Yeah.
Riding the camels and just watching the sunset. It was beautiful. You had the mountain range that right there is at the border of Algeria. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we're 5 miles from Algerian border.
Yep.
Seeing that mountain range off in the distance, it was just a beautiful. The moon came up that night and it was a full moon, so couldn't see the stars, but it was just still just bright as day almost.
Yeah.
I love that, and I don't know. I mean, I love going overseas, just seeing new cultures, new people, kind of seeing just a little insight of what they live, how they live, just how much different it is here. Mm-hmm. Not that one's better than the other, one's worse than the other. It's just different. And it's fun.
Yeah. Well, that's what some people were asking me when we got back. What my takeaway was, and I was like, really? I mean, when you get into a culture like we did, so we purposefully stayed away from all the touristy stuff. Like we didn't go into the modern cities. We didn't, do anything really gimmicky, and we tried to get like into and like feel the culture. And what's that?
Rick's Cafe.
Except for Rick's Cafe. We did it, yeah. Look up Rick's Cafe. It's a big scam. It's a remake of the Rick's Cafe from the movie Casablanca. And it's a total, like, nothing of the movie Casablanca was actually filmed in Casablanca. And so they made this fake restaurant that all the tourists go to that they think is Rick's Cafe. It's really funny.
That's the only touristy thing we really had to do.
But we knew we were doing that. We did that on purpose just to say we could do it. But when you get into that culture, like, and you talk to, we had this guy, a native that we talked to for 3 days straight, and just noticed, like, everybody's the same. Everybody has the same, as far as our culture and their culture, the same, concerns and worries and hopes and dreams, and everybody feels very similar about politics in their own country and what's right and what's wrong, and it's interesting to see how alike so many people are. And not just because they said I looked like I was Moroccan either.
The Moroccan rapper.
The Moroccan rapper. What was his name? Big E or something?
Yeah, I think it was Big E.
So I took an Ancestry.com DNA test, whatever, a few months ago, and it says that I'm 1% to 3% African. I had no idea. When we get in there and we're going through some of these small villages, some of the people are asking our guide in Arabic. They're like, "Who's that guy? Is he Moroccan? He looks Moroccan." And our guy's like, "No, he's American. He's not from here." So apparently I look African and Moroccan. And then they said I look like this particular Moroccan rapper named Big E, who I think is dead now. I think I looked him up. He's dead. So there you go.
There it is.
That was a good trip. So to all you wanderers out there, let's if you guys ever want to go on a trip, Eric and I are up for it.
Yeah, honestly, that was a great part of it too. I mean, I always enjoy going off with the wife, just having adventures with her and stuff. But
yeah,
finally getting off of a good friend, I mean, it just can't beat that. Just great guy time. You're easygoing. I mean, it was one of the things I knew I didn't have to worry about. Just kind of get your price, and then what you'd be willing to spend, and after that, I knew you'd be as adventurous as I wanted to be.
Oh yeah, I'm all for it, man. Oh, thanks, man. That means a lot. It was a good time. So now we owe our wives a trip.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So all the money we saved on this trip is actually going to cost us something.
I still think it was funny when Megan asked you at the end of the trip if we were still friends.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I would say better friends.
Yeah.
It's great, dude. No drama here.
No.
It was good.
Yeah, we're gonna open a nice spa day or something.
Oh yeah, not for us, for them.
Yeah, for them.
We already had our romantic Arabian tent, so they can go to the spa. Good stuff, man. Well, I would do it again in a heartbeat. I think about the trip a lot. It was a lot of fun. So thanks for doing the podcast and letting everybody else know about it.
Yep. Hopefully they enjoy it. I'm always up for another trip. So
for sure, man.
Weird.
Oh, and we're coming up to Ohio again. So we're coming up right after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's. So if any of you guys are around, maybe we can see you guys.